There are 13 mistakes first-time puppy owners often make, but this first one is making training your pup a lot harder, and that is putting off training until your puppy is older. You might think that you have plenty of time to train them since they're so young, or maybe you feel like you don't want to put them to work right away since they're just a baby. But if you do that, your puppy is going to start developing bad habits that will be a lot harder to break as they get older. It's actually best to start training them as soon as they come home. Puppy brains are little sponges, and early training helps to establish good habits and prevent unwanted behavior before it even happens. Plus, training promotes a positive, trusting bond between you and your pup. But if you don't want to put your little fur baby to work so soon, remember this: puppy training doesn't have to be boring and hard. The best way to train them is actually through playing fun games with them. It's never too late to start training, but by waiting, you definitely miss out on the prime time to teach your puppy to be a polite housemate and member of your family. Next up is a little known mistake that could save you a lot of money if you avoid it: giving your puppy too much freedom around the house. A few days after we brought our puppy home, I was in the kitchen cooking dinner. We were doing a great job at potty training him and keeping an eye on him. But that night, I was in the zone trying not to burn the chicken. So of course, when I turned around, he wasn't there. I found him in the guest bedroom with a nice little pee puddle in the middle of the room. But honestly, that was probably the best case scenario. He could have chewed up our desk or our chairs in there, or even worse, there are cords that he could have tried to chew on. When you bring your puppy home, it's best to keep them confined to 1 or 2 puppy-proof rooms as they're learning appropriate house manners. Playpens, baby gates, and crates will help you out a lot here, and I'll link my favorites down in the description. Speaking of potty accidents, we're going to talk about one of the biggest potty training mistakes first-time puppy owners make. But first, let's discuss a couple of mistakes that could cause your pup to be unhealthy. A lot of new puppy owners cause their pups to become overweight by feeding them too much. I know, they always look at you like they haven't been fed in days, even though it's only been a few hours. And the puppy dog eyes can be irresistible. But as they grow, being overweight is not good for their health. It can cause an increase in joint issues, heart disease, cancer, and can cause them to live a shorter life than if they were at a healthy weight. But to keep your pup at a healthy weight, talk to your vet about what and how much food they should eat. And speaking of being overweight, a big mistake puppy owners make is not giving their pup enough appropriate exercise. But this is a really tricky one that's easy to mess up. If you don't give your pup enough exercise, it can result in unwanted behaviors like barking, destructive chewing and digging, jumping, and biting. Pretty much all of the things that you don't want your puppy to do. But if you give them too much intense exercise while their bones and their joints are still growing, you can cause injuries. All dogs are different, so there's no single answer for how much exercise they need. And as your puppy grows, their exercise needs will change. What is too much exercise for your 8-week-old pup might be barely a warm-up when they're 6 months old. Here are some of my favorite ways to exercise my puppy: walks, puppy play dates, taking them to an empty park or field to run around. I actually like baseball fields especially for this because they're fenced in. There's also swimming and games like fetch and tug. Just be sure to keep an eye on your dog to see how they're feeling during and after exercise so that you don't overdo it. Even though all puppies are different when it comes to exercise, this next mistake is the same for all of them. But first, if you love your dog and want them to be the best dog they can be, subscribe to Doggy Digs so you never miss any of our future doggy videos. First-time puppy owners often make the mistake of punishing their puppy for potty accidents in the house. I'm not saying you should just let your pup pee and poop all over your house. But if you hit them or yell at them after they have an accident, it can actually slow down your potty training progress. This is because it only teaches them to be scared of you, not where to go potty. So now that you know what not to do, here are 3 quick tips to potty train your pup. 1, give them lots of opportunities to go outside, like taking them out every 30 to 60 minutes when you first get them. 2, always supervise them or have them in a crate or pen when they're inside so that they can't have accidents in your house. And 3, if they do have an accident, quickly and calmly take them outside to see if they have any more business to do. Then, clean up the spot with an enzymatic cleaner, which gets rid of the smell and helps them not to go in that spot again. I'll link my favorite enzymatic cleaner down in the description for you. Up next is an overlooked mistake that seems unnecessary, but can cause major headaches down the road. And that is not teaching your puppy how to be calm during grooming. It sounds kind of weird, because when you first get your puppy, they're all clean and soft and they don't need to be groomed. So obviously you don't groom them, right? But if the first time you try to give them a bath is when they're a little older and a little crazier, well, and unfortunately I'm saying this from experience, good luck. Grooming can be a stressful, scary experience for your dog, so it's up to you to teach them how to enjoy, or at least tolerate the process. The easiest way to do this is to start early, use lots of positive reinforcement, and take baby steps. If you don't, your dog might become out of control when you try to groom them as an older puppy or adult dog. Okay, if you have a really cute puppy, and I know you do, this next mistake can really make your life hard as a dog owner. Letting your puppy say hi to everyone they see on their walks. Here's a common scenario. You're on a walk with your puppy, and you pass by some strangers on the sidewalk. Of course, your pup is looking all cute and smiley, so the strangers want to say hi. And your pup loves pets, so you let them pet your dog. That's all fine and dandy. Except for one thing. If you repeat this scenario over and over, your pup might learn that when they see people on their walks, they're always going to get pets. Before you know it, they're pulling on the leash, trying to say hi to everyone you pass. Not good. For one, they're learning that they get rewarded when they pull on the leash. And two, not everybody wants to say hi to your dog, no matter how cute they are. Rather than letting your puppy say hi to everyone, it's better to teach them how to calmly let people and dogs pass them by. Next up is one of the biggest mistakes people make without even realizing it. Not giving your puppy enough mental exercise. Many people think they only need to give their dogs a physical workout, and don't even know that they need to give them a mental workout too. In fact, engaging their brain can sometimes tire them out even more effectively than physical exercise. If you neglect mental enrichment, your dog may find themselves bored, and a bored dog is trouble waiting to happen. Puzzle toys, like the Kong Wobbler, can be an easy way to add in some enrichment to your dog's routine. And training them is another excellent way to drain some mental energy. But this next mistake is an easy one to fall into, especially for new owners. And that is assuming that problematic behaviors will go away on their own. It's easy to tell yourself, they're just a puppy. They'll stop doing that soon. But things don't always happen that way. What often happens instead is either the behavior gets worse or it becomes ingrained as a habit, making it even harder to stop. Instead of wishful thinking, it's best to address the issue right away and seek a professional dog trainer to help. Your dog is going to be part of your life for many years, so it's worth it to sort out behavior issues sooner rather than later so that you can enjoy them even more. And speaking of enjoying your pup, this next mistake robs so many people of having a great time with their puppy. Having unrealistic expectations. This is an easy mistake to make if you've had dogs in the past. But even if you haven't had dogs in the past, it's tough to imagine how difficult life will be as a new puppy parent. Do you know how you'll react when you find your puppy chewing up your favorite shoes? Or when they wake you up yelping at 3 a.m. because they need to pee? All puppies are different. Some are easier, some are more difficult, but being realistic about the puppy that you currently have and what their needs are will make life a lot easier for you. I want to tell you about my biggest regret in raising my first puppy, but first, let's talk about 2 mistakes people make even before they bring their puppy home. The first one is picking the wrong breed. Many people get a breed because of the way it looks, they had one growing up, or because they follow a cute one on Instagram. But the most important question people need to ask before they decide on a breed is this: does this dog fit my lifestyle? Here's an example. Let's say you like watching Netflix and YouTube all day. A border collie that needs lots of training and a job to do probably isn't the right dog for you. Or say you're out hiking and exploring every weekend. A lazy English bulldog probably isn't the right fit for you. Some dogs need more or less exercise, training, and grooming than others, and you and your new pup will be a lot happier if you do your research before you choose a breed and make sure y'all are a good match. But even if you choose the right dog breed for you, you still might make this mistake: getting a dog before you're ready. Hopefully by now, you realize how much time, effort, and money a dog will take. Are you actually ready for that commitment? One of the worst things you can do is to get a dog too soon, realize you can't take care of them, and then have to give them up. If you're not ready now, that's totally okay. The perfect dog will be ready for you when you are. But if you do think you're ready for a dog, this next mistake was my biggest regret in raising my first puppy. not socializing your puppy properly. There are two big problems here. The first one is that most people don't even know what socialization is. Socialization is getting your puppy used to people, other animals, and the sights, smells, and sounds they'll experience in the world. It builds their confidence, but if you don't socialize them, they can develop issues like fearfulness, reactivity, sound sensitivity, and even aggression. My dog is a big scaredy cat, and I think it's partly because I made the mistake of not socializing him enough as a puppy. But even if you know about socializing your pup, there's another problem with it, and that is the thought that you shouldn't take them outside of your house before they're fully vaccinated. Most puppies are fully vaccinated at around 16 weeks old, but there's a big problem with that. 16 weeks is when the window of time to socialize your puppy ends. Because of how a puppy's brain develops, they are much more open to new experiences before this age. So what can you do? Well, you just need to socialize them carefully. You know that your dog needs to play with other dogs, so instead of taking them to the dog park where you don't know any of the other dogs, you can take them to a puppy kindergarten class that requires all puppies to be vaccinated. And you know that they need to get used to being out in public, so instead of taking them to the pet store where lots of other dogs go, take them to a store like Home Depot or Lowe's, put them in the cart, and let them experience the sights, sounds, and smells from the safety of the cart. But even if you do everything right, your puppy will still probably have tons of energy. So watch this video next to see the 7 simple things you can do every day to have a calm dog.